Life moves fast, and sometimes we forget to pause and ask ourselves if we're truly living with intention. As the years pass, the choices we make right now shape the future we step into. With 2026 just around the corner, there are certain things every woman should commit to doing, not just to check boxes, but to grow, to protect her peace, and to build a life she's proud of. Boundaries are not walls that shut people out. They are gates that protect what is most valuable inside of you. Without them, you will always find yourself drained, stretched too thin, and constantly battling resentment. Too many people confuse kindness with endless availability, but kindness does not mean you give unlimited access to your time, your mind, and your energy. Every woman must understand that by the time 2026 arrives, her life will reflect either the boundaries she set or the lack of them. Without boundaries, you are building your future on quicksand. You cannot pour into your health, your goals, and your peace when you are pulled in 1,000 different directions. Boundaries are about teaching people how to treat you. If you don't set the tone, they will guess, and their guess will almost always serve their own needs more than yours. When you answer that late night call, even though you are exhausted, when you agree to something you never wanted to do, when you stay silent in conversations that drain the life out of you, you are writing a permission slip for that cycle to repeat, and it always repeats. Boundaries are not about being selfish, they are about respect. Respect for yourself first, and respect for others too, because when you make your limits clear, you give people the chance to either honor them or step away. And if they step away, that is not your loss. That is proof they were never meant to have unlimited access to you. Think about the times you have said yes while your heart and gut screamed no. Think about the moments you walked away from a room feeling smaller instead of stronger. Think about the nights you lay awake, replaying the conversation, wishing you had spoken up. Boundaries exist to protect you from repeating that. They are not about control, they are about clarity. They let you take ownership of your time and energy the same way you would protect money in your bank account. Because your time is currency, your energy is gold, and yet many women hand them out freely while holding back nothing for themselves. Boundaries are how you start treating those things as priceless treasures, not disposable resources. The truth is, boundaries require courage. They will not always be welcomed. They will sometimes disappoint people, and you must be willing to stand in that discomfort without letting it bend you. Many women have been conditioned to please, to smooth things over, to keep the peace no matter the cost. But peace that costs you your own peace is not peace at all. That is self-betrayal. And the more you betray yourself, the more bitterness, exhaustion, and emptiness build up inside of you. A life without boundaries slowly becomes a life that feels like it belongs to everyone but you. When you start saying no without apology, you feel the shift. When you stop explaining every decision just to make others more comfortable, you feel stronger. When you choose to respond instead of react, you feel in control again. Boundaries are not just about shutting things out, they are also about opening up space for what truly matters. They allow you to say yes to the people who respect your time, yes to the opportunities that align with your values, yes to the experiences that move you toward the life you want to build. Before 2026 arrives, every woman must sit with herself and take inventory. Ask where your energy is leaking, who has access they do not deserve, what conversations you are staying in that you should have walked away from long ago. And when you get brutally honest with those answers, you will find the clarity to draw the lines that protect your health, your joy, and your focus. Your health is not something you can afford to push to the side until life slows down, because life will never slow down. There will always be demands, responsibilities, and distractions, but your body and your mind are the engines that carry you into the future. If those engines are neglected, every other part of your life suffers. Too many women put themselves last on their own list. They take care of everyone else, they hold everything together, and by the time they look up, they are exhausted, overwhelmed, and running on empty. Before 2026, you have to make a decision to put your health back at the top where it belongs because nothing else works if you don't. Prioritizing health is not just about exercising or eating better, though those things matter. It's about paying attention to the whole picture. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and yet it's the one most often ignored. How many times have you pushed through anxiety or stress, telling yourself to just keep going? How many times have you convinced yourself you'll rest later when the truth is later never comes? Stress that isn't dealt with becomes a silent thief. It steals your focus, your joy, and your energy without you even realizing how much it has taken until you're left drained. Protecting your mental health means recognizing when you need rest, when you need to say no, and when you need to ask for help. Emotional health is another piece too many people forget. It's not just about avoiding breakdowns, it's about building resilience. It's about letting yourself feel instead of numbing, about processing hurt instead of burying it. Carrying unhealed wounds into the future only makes the load heavier. Emotional health comes from being honest with yourself, from finding safe places to release what's been held in, from surrounding yourself with people who don't just take, but also support and uplift. You cannot thrive if you are constantly bleeding emotionally without stopping to heal. Physical health matters in ways that go beyond appearance. It's not about chasing perfection, it's about sustainability. The small choices you make daily add up to the life you live years from now. Skipping sleep, surviving on caffeine, ignoring the signals your body gives you, all of it compounds. You can either pay attention now or you'll be forced to later when the consequences are no longer optional. Before 2026, make the choice to treat your body like the only home you'll ever have, because that's exactly what it is. Move it, nourish it, rest it, and give it the care it deserves. When you combine mental, emotional, and physical health, you create a foundation strong enough to carry everything else you want. Without it, every goal, every dream, every responsibility feels heavier than it should. With it, you find balance, strength, and clarity. Too many women think taking care of themselves is selfish, but the truth is the opposite. When you are healthy, you show up stronger for the people you love. You have more to give without depleting yourself, and you create an example for others to follow. Making your health a priority requires intention. It means scheduling rest the way you schedule meetings. It means setting boundaries with people who drain you. It means choosing foods that fuel your body instead of just filling it. It means checking in with yourself mentally, asking what you need, and actually listening. It means giving yourself permission to stop, to breathe, and to reset without guilt. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. Before the next chapter of your life begins, ask yourself if the way you are living right now honors your health. Ask yourself if the choices you make today will give you strength tomorrow. Ask if you're building habits that will carry you forward or break you down over time. And when you're honest with those answers, you will see exactly where change needs to happen and why it can't wait. Financial independence is not just about money, it is about freedom. It is the freedom to make decisions without being trapped by fear, the freedom to walk away from situations that don't serve you, and the freedom to know you can stand on your own 2 feet no matter what life throws at you. Too many women rely on someone else for financial stability, whether it's a partner, a family member, or even a job that underpays them but feels safe. But true independence comes when you know that you can take care of yourself, that your future is not in the hands of someone else's choices. Before 2026, every woman must take control of her financial life because money impacts every corner of your existence. Financial security starts with awareness. You cannot change what you refuse to look at. That means knowing where your money goes, understanding your spending habits, and being honest about what needs to change. For some, that looks like cutting unnecessary expenses. For others, it means finally facing debt instead of avoiding it. You cannot build stability on a shaky foundation. Awareness is the first step toward control, and control is what gives you confidence. Once awareness is there, the next step is discipline. Saving money is not glamorous, but it is powerful. Every dollar you set aside is a piece of security that no one can take from you. It's not about saving what's left over, it's about deciding your future is worth paying first. Even small amounts build over time. The discipline of saving, of budgeting, of saying no to short-term wants in favor of long-term freedom, that is how you create the stability that will carry you forward. But financial independence is not only about saving, it's about earning. Too many women settle for less than they are worth, staying in jobs that underpay or undervalue them. Building independence means recognizing your value and being willing to go after opportunities that reflect it. That might mean asking for the raise you've earned, it might mean seeking out a new job, or it might mean starting something of your own. Money is not just about survival, it's about choice. The more you earn, the more choices you have, and the less power anyone else has over you. Financial literacy is part of this journey as well. If you don't understand how money works, you will always feel behind. Learning about investments, credit, saving strategies, and financial planning is not something reserved for experts. It is something every woman must do. Knowledge gives you control, and control builds security. The future is too uncertain to walk into it unprepared. By 2026, you want to know that you understand your money, that you are in charge of it instead of it being in charge of you. There is also the emotional side of money that often gets overlooked. Many women have been taught to feel guilt around wanting financial independence, as if ambition makes them greedy or selfish. But wanting stability is not selfish. Wanting freedom is not greedy. Money is simply a tool, and the healthier your relationship with it, the more effectively you can use it to create the life you want. Security means not having to stay in toxic relationships because you can't afford to leave, not having to stay silent in a job that underpays you because you have no backup, not having to sacrifice your dreams because you are chained by debt or lack of options. Building financial independence before 2026 is about deciding you will no longer hand over your power to circumstance. It is about committing to learning, saving, earning, and building in ways that give you confidence instead of fear. It is about understanding that your financial security is not just for you. It impacts the people you love, the opportunities you take, and the future you step into. The people you allow into your life shape the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you see yourself. Relationships are powerful, but not all of them are healthy. Some people feed your soul and others drain it. Some help you grow while others keep you stuck. The truth is, you cannot step into your best future if you are carrying relationships that are toxic, heavy, and harmful to your peace. Before 2026, every woman must look around and take an honest inventory of the people in her life, because the company you keep has the power to lift you higher or pull you under. Toxic relationships come in many forms. They are not always loud or obvious. Sometimes they are disguised as friendships where you do all the giving and they do all the taking. Sometimes they are family members who constantly belittle your dreams or criticize your choices. Sometimes they are partners who make you question your worth instead of affirming it. Toxicity shows up in patterns, in the way you feel after every interaction, in the way your confidence shrinks over time. If you leave a conversation feeling smaller, weaker, or drained, that is a sign you need to pay attention to. Letting go of toxic people is one of the hardest things you can do, but it is also one of the most freeing. Many women hold on out of guilt, out of history, or out of fear of being alone. But staying in relationships that hurt you does not protect you from loneliness. It creates a deeper kind of loneliness, the kind where you feel unseen even when someone is right beside you. Real connection should not make you feel empty. Real love and real friendship should not make you feel less than. Surrounding yourself with uplifting people is not about numbers. It is about quality. You don't need a large circle. You need the right circle. People who celebrate your wins instead of resenting them. People who listen to you instead of talking over you. People who inspire you to grow instead of holding you back. When you are around uplifting people, you feel lighter, you feel motivated, you feel like your voice matters. That is the kind of environment that helps you thrive. The shift begins with boundaries. You cannot expect toxic people to change simply because you wish they would. You cannot pour your energy into fixing someone who has no interest in being fixed. What you can do is decide how much access they get to you. Sometimes that means limiting contact. Sometimes it means walking away completely. Either way, it means choosing yourself over the cycle that has been draining you, choosing peace over chaos, choosing growth over stagnation. The truth is, you become like the people you spend the most time with. Their habits, their attitudes, their beliefs seep into your own. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, it will wear you down. If you are constantly surrounded by encouragement, it will lift you up. That is why it is so critical to protect your space. Who you give your time to is one of the most important decisions you will ever make, because time is the one thing you can never get back. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop sacrificing yourself for people who will never meet you halfway. It means you stop watering dead plants and start planting new seeds where growth is possible. It means you give yourself permission to step into environments that reflect your worth instead of constantly questioning it. Before 2026, you owe it to yourself to release what is toxic and embrace what is healthy, because the life you are building cannot thrive in poisoned soil. Personal growth is not something that happens by accident. It is a choice. It is the daily decision to keep evolving, to keep learning, to keep stretching yourself beyond what feels comfortable. Too many people believe growth will come naturally with time, but the truth is, time alone doesn't change you, intention does. Before 2026, every woman must commit to investing in her own growth, because without it, you risk stepping into the future as the same version of yourself you are today. Learning is one of the most powerful tools for growth. It doesn't always mean going back to school or earning another degree. It can be as simple as reading books that challenge your perspective, listening to podcasts that expand your thinking, or surrounding yourself with people who know things you don't. Knowledge is power, and the more you feed your mind, the stronger and more confident you become. Growth requires curiosity, and curiosity opens doors you never even knew were there. When you stop learning, you stop evolving, and when you stop evolving, you stop living fully. Experiences are another form of investment. Life cannot be lived only through routines and responsibilities. Growth comes from trying new things, stepping into the unfamiliar, and pushing yourself into situations that stretch you. Travel to places that open your eyes. Take on projects that scare you a little. Have conversations with people who see the world differently than you do. Every new experience adds depth to who you are, and that depth is what makes you wiser, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. Self-reflection is the piece that ties it all together. You can learn all the information in the world and have all the experiences, but if you never slow down to process what they mean, you miss the point. Reflection is about looking inward and asking yourself the hard questions. What patterns keep showing up in your life? What habits are holding you back? What strengths are you not using? What wounds are you still carrying that need healing? Growth is not just about adding more. It is also about letting go of what no longer serves you. Reflection forces you to face yourself honestly and make adjustments where they are needed. Investing in personal growth also means being willing to fail. Too often, fear of failure keeps women from trying new things. But failure is not the opposite of growth. It is part of growth. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback builds resilience. Every wrong turn points you closer to the right one. When you reframe failure as feedback, you stop avoiding challenges and start embracing them as opportunities to learn. Growth also requires patience. You cannot rush transformation. You cannot expect overnight change. Personal growth is built through consistent choices, small steps taken every day that add up to a life that looks completely different over time. The books you read, the habits you build, the risks you take, the reflections you make, these are the investments that shape your character. and character is what carries you through when everything else feels uncertain. Before 2026, ask yourself what areas of your life need more attention. Do you need to learn more about your craft, your finances, or your relationships? Do you need to step outside your comfort zone and chase experiences that scare you? Do you need to slow down and reflect on who you are becoming? The answer will not be the same for everyone, but the commitment must be the commitment to keep growing, to keep learning, to keep becoming the woman your future needs you to be.